Hello everybody, it's Andrew Hutchings here. Still not a licensed physician, still never giving medical advice. Although I've been advised that I should change my intro, I think that it's important because, well, I don't want to get sued for giving medical advice or removed off YouTube. This video, I was also told I shouldn't say this, and I thought before I don't need to actually say that. So I got my blood work results today. Recently, I got 4 vials of blood drawn and got my main sex hormone levels tested, hormones that stimulate sex hormones tested, cholesterol, C-reactive protein, D-dimer, and some minerals. Looks like they forgot to put potassium on there. It actually turns out that my father has high potassium levels, so I would have liked to know mine. I'm going to go back, try to get it tested. I'm also going to get my liver enzymes tested. And who knows what else. So, the good or the bad first? Well, the good, I found out the good first today. That my dihydrotestosterone is literally off the chart. Like, they only measure up to 1,500, it was like picograms per milliliter, I think. Camera's slightly crooked. And mine was above 1,500 picograms per milliliter, so who knows how high it is. It could be 10,000, could be 1,501, but it's higher than their cutoff. And they wrote that the normal is only 250 to 990. Dihydrotestosterone sounds pretty gnarly, doesn't it? Now the reality is that your muscles tissue has enzymes that quickly break it down. It's not active in the muscles, does not build muscles. I mean, perhaps it helps a micro amount, but maybe you get like the same amount of help by eating a single nut. I don't know. It's not active in the muscles. It's responsible for facial hair growth, balding. For when you're developing, it's responsible for the size of your penis. I think mostly the head of the penis. While you're alive, it has kind of an antagonistic role with estrogen. Ironically, despite my sky-high dihydrotestosterone levels, I still have gynecomastia. And I have low-ish estrogen levels, because that comes to my testosterone levels. What were my testosterone levels? Well, not my best test ever, but on the higher side of my tests, which means I'm still in the bottom 33%. This one was about 520, I think it's nanograms per deciliter on the American scale. In this European scale, it was like 18 something. I don't remember the units. You don't necessarily have to remember units if you make sure that they're the same units as what you compare it to. So yeah, I'm at the top of the bottom 33 percentile. So if you take the normal range, you take the bottom third of it, I'm right at the top of the bottom third of it, so not very good. So yeah, when I got my dihydrotestosterone results, I was thinking, whoa, like what happened here? Did they make a mistake? Or like, is my testosterone through the roof? Like, you know, maybe I'm doing something, maybe because I'm having more sex. Like, I mean, I didn't have any sex the last times I got tested. But who knows, maybe my testosterone is sky high now. Turns out that's not the case. I mean, it's not my best test, but it's certainly not my worst. I think my worst was like 330 or so. Maybe it was like 350. And then I had one that was like 450. Then I had one that was 540. And this one's like 520. So overall, like, it's good compared to my other ones. Disappointing, to be honest, like for me. I mean, it's a good, healthy amount. It's just, I would think that someone my age and my shape would have, you know, closer to like 800. But nope. Okay, luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Also as usual, and doesn't make me happy, although like I have good muscles, and you can't see them that well with my shirt on, and I feel good, but those are also very low. And trust me, I wish it was because I'm taking steroids, but I'm not taking steroids. And, look, I do not have very good recovery from the gym. That is my number one thing that holds me back. And I'm very injury prone. And then you combine injury prone with bad recovery, and now you have injuries all the time. You have to wait a long time for them to go away, and yeah. But I'm obviously overall very blessed in my muscle abilities. Just, of course, everyone can always be better than they are. That's life. I'm happy with my overall results, although I wish I had higher luteinizing hormone, follicle-stimulating hormone, and higher testosterone. But who knows, maybe for my body I'm not supposed to have so much, and maybe it protects me against some sort of ill health. And speaking of ill health, that brings me to something that actually does concern me versus, like, the testosterone. Yeah, I wish I had higher testosterone. It doesn't concern me. Now, what does concern me is that my good cholesterol is only like 40 on the US scale. I've had it as low as 33. I got it tested a different time and it was like 40, like a year and a half ago. It's still about 40. What can I say? Like, I eat healthy. I eat fish probably twice a week or more. I eat nuts almost, I mean, right now I'm not eating so much nuts because I gotta cut calories. But I normally eat nuts every day. I don't eat fast food that has bad oils in it. I don't cook with oils. I mean, if I did cook with oils, I'd cook with healthy ones, but I don't even cook with oils. I eat lots of olive oil with bread. If I have bread right now, I don't eat much bread, but I actually just had about that much bread with some olive oil and vinegar. So I get lots and lots of good fats into me. I don't get a lot of bad fats. Like, I don't eat potato chips. I don't even know what people would eat to get these bad fats. Now, I guess I can get some bad fats from chocolates, but I don't even eat that much chocolate. Like today, I'll admit I had a single Raffaello chocolate. It's a white chocolate, hollow chocolate sphere with the hazelnut inside, I think. So there is some amount of bad fat. But if you're getting the general message, it's that I don't eat that much bad fat. I eat a lot of good fat. I exercise a lot. Like, I do a lot of walking, I do a lot of weightlifting, and I do enough cardiovascular activity. And despite all that, I have good cholesterol that scares me. Would it scare everybody? No, of course not. Not everybody is scared by the same things. I saw a building make a Belarusian flag with their lights a little bit ago. But yeah, 40, I think most health-conscious people would like to have it higher than 40. My bad cholesterol is like the equivalent of like 130 on the US scale, which actually really surprises me more than the good cholesterol, because when I've been tested before, my bad cholesterol was 30 and 40. I mean, my good cholesterol was like 30 and 40, but my bad cholesterol was also kind of low. Like, I don't remember exactly, but like 80 maybe? It was like the 70% of the maximum for the cutoff. And I mean, a lot of people are above the cutoff, so I considered that pretty good. But now I'm like 20-30% above the cutoff. Why that is? Like, unless chicken gives you bad cholesterol, which maybe it does, I don't know what could possibly be giving me bad cholesterol. I do not eat that much carbs. I do not eat that much red meat. I primarily eat chicken and fish. I mean, maybe eggs. Like, some people think eggs are bad for your cholesterol. Maybe they're bad for my cholesterol. Yeah, I eat a lot of chicken, eggs, fish. I mean, like, chicken and eggs mostly, and then like fish twice a week, red meat like once a week, lots of nuts like almost every day. I don't eat potato chips and French fries and candies, and I exercise a lot, so why I have such bad cholesterol, and I consider it pretty bad. Like, I know it's not like I'm gonna have a heart attack next year, most likely, but I consider it pretty bad. It scares me, and I gotta figure something out. But that brings me to another point. Just because my cholesterol levels are bad does not mean that my arterial health is bad. I wanted to get a coronary artery calcium scan, but it seems like I need to get a prescription for it. So I'm going to ask a professor at my university to give me a prescription, knowing how idiots usually are, and most people are idiots, including medical school professors, and pathetic people. They're probably going to be like, well, I can't prescribe it to you because I'm not your doctor. And I'll be like, but my blood work shows that I'm at high risk for arterial plaque buildup. And they'll probably go, oh, well, you need to see a different doctor because, like, there's this issue. Like, what happened to people just being, like, normal? Like, oh, yeah, you're at high risk. Here, hold on a second. Here, go get that test tomorrow. Like, why do you have to be so fucking screwed up in the head? I guess this video is not going to be monetized, but I think you probably know what I mean. Like, so many people out there, they're just weird and screwed up. And I hope I'm proved wrong. I hope I show a random professor of mine who's a licensed physician here, and they write me the prescription for it. I know we're not, like, best friends or anything, but it's not like they're writing me a prescription for opiates. They're writing me a prescription to get a coronary artery calcium scan. But I'll let you know how that goes. I don't know what's wrong with people. Other things, good things. My C-reactive protein was 0.9 on the scale. Now, I'm not an expert on C-reactive protein, and I don't have a strong opinion on where exactly I would like it to be. But 0.9, I'm pretty happy. Like, who knows, maybe it should be like 0.5. I don't know, like I said, not that knowledgeable about it. I don't know enough good example. Like, for a lot of blood work, actually, I just made a video on this. The issue is these scales that we use. Who's to say that they're actually good scales? You may go, oh, but they're established by these big medical whatevers. So, you know how they're established? They're established from the general population. The general population is very unhealthy. In case you didn't notice, I consider myself unhealthy right now, and I'm healthier than 99.9% of everybody else. So do I want to compare myself to them and go, oh, if I'm like them, I'm healthy? No, because that's not true. If I'm like all those other people, I'm unhealthy. I need to be better than them. And it's not that you need to be better than them because they're bad. No, it's just that they're unhealthy. Most people are unhealthy, that's a fact. So, you take the normal range for that C-reactive protein. On the internet, there's lots of references like 1 to 10. Here in Belarus, it was written 1 to 5. I'm glad, because that seems better to me. I'd like to see the levels for really healthy athletes who eat healthy and exercise a lot. Those are the values I care about for everything. I don't care about the values for Mr. Fat Blob who sits in his electric wheelchair and eats chips. Yeah, I'm hating on him. He got himself there. Not necessarily a bad person, but some people do not care about their own life. I care about my own life. What was I saying? Yeah, I would like, maybe someday I'll establish this. I know some people that are like personal trainers have a lot of information at their disposal if lots of their clients are getting tested. Yeah, I don't care to compare my levels to the general population. I care to compare them to really healthy people. But then ultimately what we need to do is wait until we see how long those healthy people live, because then we know who is really healthy with longevity, and then we can take those values and make them the healthy values. Because Because you may seem really healthy, but if you die at age 30, you weren't that healthy probably. And that's what freaks me out. It's like, I seem really healthy. Like, I've been through a lot, but I consider myself a pretty healthy person. But to think, like, what if I, like, had a heart attack at 40 years old? Like, I remember when I was in elementary school, one kid's dad, who was really healthy, thin, exercised a lot. Who knows if he had any other things he did that were bad, but he had a heart attack while playing basketball at, like, age 40. I don't want to be that person. Yeah, my C-reactive protein is very low, which means, like, your inflammation levels in your body. My D-dimer score was also, like, really low. Like, really low. I mean, maybe it could be bad that it's so low, but like, I don't remember what it was, but it was, like, in the bottom two percentile. I mean, I guess I don't have to worry about blood clots too much. But who knows, maybe you don't want to be in that bottom 2 percentile. My mineral levels, my magnesium, I'm glad was not low, and the highest I've ever had it before was literally on the bottom cutoff line, but this time I got in, like, the bottom, I don't know, like bottom 30th percentile, like at the top of the bottom 30th percentile. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere around there. My iron levels are just a little bit above the top cutoff, which I'm happy about. Like, I have a lot, like, I wouldn't want too much iron. That's bad. But having a lot of iron, I probably have I mean, I'm always hot. So maybe it's because I have lots of blood and oxygenation. And that's strange, because you'd think, oh, if you have lots, I need to get my red blood cells counted also. I didn't get that done. But you'd think, like, if you have lots of iron, lots of red blood cells, you probably have high testosterone stimulating that. But no, I don't. But how effective is my testosterone at binding and eliciting a response? I don't know, and we can't get that tested. So for all I know, for all you know, my testosterone levels are more effective than someone with 800 versus my 500. So, yeah, iron high, like, in a good way. Yeah, potassium, they did not get tested, even though I asked for it. Sodium was just normal. I don't remember, nothing to remember about that. Phosphorus was just normal, nothing to remember about that. Oh yeah, my phone has the info, so I can't go grab and look at it. So yeah, I got phosphorus, iron, sodium. Calcium was normal. And estrogen was on the low end. I don't remember exactly what percentile, but makes sense. I mean, it seems lower to me than it's usually. Maybe because I'm leaner right now, but I've been tested when I was decently lean. Like, actually, I've been tested when I was at least this lean, and I had higher estrogen. Even though I hate gynecomastia, I do think high estrogen levels are healthy. But it makes sense that my estrogen is a bit on the low end, considering my testosterone is on the low end. And this is a pretty long video. I need to get in the gym and do some squats or deadlifts. Just not having that much energy lately with the dieting and the working out in the gym and going to MMA, then walking around for hours each day. And I just can't get this layer of fat off my abs. It's insane. I don't know, I feel like I have to diet for a year to just, I don't know, maybe it's water retention, but it's like I cannot get my abs to look good. Maybe it's just that I still have too much fat and need to get some off my back before it's good. Like, I've gotten most of the side and back fat gone, but I do still have some. Maybe once the rest of it goes, then the fat on my abs will go. But I've kind of hit a plateau in my fat loss. I'm not eating that much. Like, most days about 1,500 calories. Some days 2,000 calories. But I'm in a deficit every single day for the last, like, month. I mean, there was, like, 1 or 2 days when I was not in a deficit. I was, like, slightly above, but not much. Yeah, so for the future, I'm going to get a coronary artery calcium scan, very important. I'm going to get my liver enzymes tested. I would like to get an HDL, good cholesterol fraction done to see the different levels of HDLs, although I'm no expert on them and the information on them is not the greatest. I'd still like to have it. I'd like to have that lipoprotein A, potassium, total blood count of all my red blood cells, my leukocytes, lymphocytes, etc. Now you may be wondering, like, am I sick or something? No, I'm not sick. But I have been through a lot health-wise, and I care about my health a lot. And even if I hadn't been through a lot health-wise, I would still want to do all this. Maybe you should too, like if you care about your health. I'm lucky here, I got all of the stuff I just got done for $70. When I was in the United States, going to my University of California, Irvine, it was mostly covered by my school insurance. I would pay like $15 to do it. And one time I had some chest pains. I thought maybe I had a small heart attack. I know I probably did not have a small heart attack, but I have been through a lot health-wise, so it's not actually funny. But I got to get lots of extra blood work done one time for no extra cost. It doesn't hurt to err on the side of caution when it comes to getting extra free tests. As I told my friends, like, if you think you have a little tiny bit of gynecomastia, perhaps you need to go to the doctor and get a lot of blood work done, if you have insurance that will cover it, of course. My website is andrewhutchings.org. You cannot hire me for medical advice, but remember, it's not advice. If I don't tell you to do it, it's just information. You can also hire me for training, plans, whatever. My book on tendinitis is for sale. You can just Google it, A Systematic Guide to Defeating Tendinitis. If you have tendinitis, I recommend you get this as soon as possible. I'm 99.9% sure you're not going to regret it and you'll be super glad. I don't want to speak anymore, just get it